Hi, it's been 36 hours since we did the last video in the numbers series. So we're gonna hit the numbers pretty fast and talk about a few things today. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning on January 9th. The current population in the United States is 308,453,164 people, which means we've got 10,523 more people now in the United States than have died, which is good, because that means those 10,500 babies just basically took about $400 off of each one of our debt load. Now, it's not quite a correct number, but it's close. Basically, in the first week of this year, we've gained about 16,000 people. But still, if you took those, all of us, put us in the street, stripped us naked, took everything from us to take care of the debt that's owed here, we'd still owe $90,000. Politicians this week have added another $43.50 to the debt load that you owe. The unemployment rate has increased by a few extra points over the last 36 hours, tens of points I should say. The unemployment rate now is 20.3%, not the 10% being reported in the mainstream media. The actual unemployment is 20.3%. In the last 36 hours, another 6,611 people have declared bankruptcy. And in the last 36 hours, there's been another 3,927 families have lost their homes. Grand total this week, 19,598 people lost their homes. Families who are now on the streets. Here it's 7 degrees outside. I learned one thing in the Marine Corps: unless you have adequate structure when it's this cold, you're dead within about 4 hours. Have these numbers hit you yet? Have the consequences of these numbers hit you yet? I favorited 2 videos on my site, and I'm going to ask you to look at them. One is Nancy Pelosi giggling like Skeletor that the politicians actually lie to us. It was the video that actually turned my stomach. I invite you to look at the politicians behind her and the looks on their faces, the arrogance on their faces. The second video I posted up was an interview that Ron Paul gave to Anderson Cooper about 24 hours ago. And Mr. Paul, or say Dr. Paul, pretty much hits it on the head that the Republicans and the Democrats have established a duopoly, and that the Tea Party, or the Tea Party movement, will never be a political party. And the people that are really behind that movement, I don't want you to be disheartened. I just want you to change your strategy. Instead of moving to put Tea Party candidates up, endorse them. Encourage your candidates, or the people that you want to run for office, to register as a write-in candidate, as an independent, and then endorse them. That gets around 98% of the campaign laws that you're trying to have to fight across. I had my staff look at this. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your resources. Don't do that. Stand up, think smart, act smart. Speaking about smart, let's talk exactly how intelligent or unintelligent the politicians in D.C. are, and the bureaucrats are. And let's talk about motives a little bit. This week, President Obama ordered that the federal government spend $1 billion in millimeter wave scanners. You know, the ones you walk in and they can show you completely naked as if they just took all your clothes off of you. Have you seen the videos where they actually have inverted those videos where they're actually completely naked? I find it really remarkable because the woman they're showing in the video is very attractive. Look at the high-res videos there too. Not the pixelized ones they're showing you on MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox. James Carville was right. Walking through a millimeter scanner, they can measure the size of his penis. And they can measure yours too. Now here's how stupid the politicians are. The amount of plastic explosives, the amount of explosives that was carried by allegedly carried by the underwear bomber, can be fit into one of these and inserted into the human rectum. Millimeter wave scanners can't show inside the body, so what's next they're going to do? Rectum searches? But $1 billion defeated by a 25-cent condom. $1 billion defeated by a 25-cent condom. Just say no. Politicians believe you can solve problems by throwing more money at it. We could sit here and look at all the motives that are going on in Washington right now, but the fact of the matter is we as a people need to make a change. And it's not electing a Democrat or Republican. It's electing a citizen. It's electing somebody that's responsible for that $90,000 after you've taken everything away from us. I've debated whether or not going to the Tea Party National Convention. I really don't care to hear Sarah Palin speak. She might be a great person, but I don't see why that everybody thinks they have to find some form of legitimacy on their cause by pulling somebody that's known to the public into it. Just because Sarah Palin was picked by John McCain to run as candidate and she ran around all around the nation doesn't make that she's a speaking point for the Tea Party movement. There are a lot of good people out there. All we need to do is support them. If somebody's brave enough to stand up and say, I am willing to have my personal life scoured by the media. I'm willing to sacrifice myself upon the altar of freedom. Then we need to honor that courage right there and support them. The time for rhetoric is over. The time for action is here. I was meeting with a friend yesterday and we talked about several things. But really, it's time to get back to a point of sustainable living and adopting some very basic principles. And the first one we're going to put up here is problem, solution, resolution. We've already identified we have a problem. We're identifying the solution to those problems. Then we just have to have the resolve to resolve those problems. Problem, solution, resolution. It's that simple. If you like the things that you hear in these videos, I ask you to help them go viral. I thank people that have been working diligently to do that. We've seen a 23% increase in viewership on this channel in the last 36 hours. I would like to see that every 36 hours for the next 60, 90, 120 days. We can be a voice. We're working very hard on the Realistic Patriots group thread on YouTube. I ask you to go ahead and go there and join. Go ahead and subscribe. We're going to try to make that a gateway. But we cannot do that without your help. Help us get the word out. Remember, it's up to you. It's up to you.